Hey, Wimbledon World Entertainment, and it's that time again. Time to destroy your movie before it comes out, because that's essentially what the cast is doing. Not just Lupita Nyong'o, or however the hell you pronounce her second name. They're all seemingly starting to get in the act, but Lupita here is the main go-to for just saying the dumbest crap possible. And she's doubling down now on just derailing this movie, which the dislikes at time of this recording are insane for that final trailer. You can see it right here. Here is the official trailer with 67,000 upvotes to 589,000 downvotes. Yeah. So it's the time of the articles, it was saying it was 566. You can now see that's gone. Let's see if it changes if I refresh it. Does it change? Yes, it has. It is now 590. But you can see here as well, there's an update. The first reactions are in, with Variety naming Nyong'o's performance among the career best of the cast, as the trailer's dislikes hit 566,000. Yeah, so the first reactions are in, and of course, they're praising it. And do you know what the word of the day is that they're actually floating around with it? Triumph. Yeah. It's like they got the Marvel memo and applied it to this. This movie is going to be incredibly weird. I said all along, I think this movie is going to make all the money in the world, but will be hated by everybody. After seeing these trailer dislikes and stuff, I'm starting to think this movie may struggle to actually even hit 500 million. It's really hard to call at this stage. You know, it is one of these. I think it's still going to have this massive opening, but I then think it might suffer yet another massive drop off. Are we going to look at yet another big summer movie that is going to have a drop off of over 70%? I just don't know. It's so hard to tell. The backlash to the casting has been one thing. The backlash to the trailer has started to really ramp things up. And now that the cast are out there saying just the dumbest crap, and I do mean the dumbest crap, before we even look at Lupita and just the dumb crap she said, wait till you hear what this other actress who is in this movie has said. It's just like, what? Look at this.
In history, women have been vilified, whether you're a midwife, whether you're, a herbalist, whether you're a healer, whether you're just in tune with the moon. Like, women have just been vilified throughout history, and I think that was my take on it. But also, Chris's interpretation of the original text and then kind of condensing it into this essential oil of Circe was phenomenal. And that I just worked from the text. It was all there for me.
Alrighty then. Yeah. So, she's nuts. What the hell is she going on about? Vilified because you're like a moon goddess? No. Mental illness is a real thing, people. These people are grown-ass adults who pretend for a living, and they've gone nuts. Absolutely nuts. By the way, there is an image that has come out from the premiere, and it's just like, wow. So, Elliot Page, aka Ellen Page, as you remember, or may have seen, she put out that video of her boxing. At least shadow boxing, and people are like, wow, look at the abs for days, blah blah blah. There's still an issue. you might try and look like a man, act like a man, sound like a man, and now fight like a man. But you're never actually going to have the build and the height of a man, as this image can show you. Yep, there's little Elliot Page at the premiere, where even the women that are involved in the movie tower over her. Good God. It is insane. Not as insane though as Lupita out there now, just making more dumbass comments. So Lupita Nyong'o has new comments circulating on premiere day, and they've handed the Backlash its next round of ammunition. Now here's the funny thing. The first one we're going to look at, she was speaking with YouTube channel DC Film Girl during the press junket. Why in all of God's name is, number one, a YouTube channel a part of the press junket, and why are you bringing in DC Film Girl to do that junket? Don't know. But she was asked basically your typical questions. What's it like about Helen of Troy? And you can see here it says the Helen of Troy actress was asked about the resilience of the two women she plays. This, my friends, was her response to that question.
You read the Iliad and the Odyssey, very little time is spent in the perspective of the women.
Right.
Right? It's told from a very masculine side of things.
Right.
But this film takes time to really consider things from the female perspective. And so we see in Helen and Clytemnestra how this war has affected them both.
Yeah.
And they respond to it very differently because their experience of it is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that was very enriching to take the time to kind of like humanize them and consider what this time could have looked like for them.
Now, the worst part about hearing what her answer is reinforces the idea that Nolan has adapted this newer version of the book, which was written by a woman. I can't remember her name now. But Homer's Odyssey is told through the lens of a woman. That is basically it. And that's where people are like, uh-oh, is this really where we're going with this? And yeah, it seems to be where we're going with this. But, of course, the biggest one that's doing the rounds is the question of, hey, if you actually got to sit down with Homer and ask him questions about the Odyssey, what would you ask him? And her response is everything wrong with modern day Hollywood and these egocentric lunatics. And that's what she is. Remember, this is the woman who says she is owed roles. Not that she should work hard for the roles and be honored to accept a role. She's owed the roles. So what was she asked and what did she say? Well, she was asked, what would you say to Homer if you got to speak with him? And she said this.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them? Okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like, remember us?
Good God, what an insufferable see you next Tuesday. God, seriously. Remember us? Why isn't there many women in your book? The irony of this dumb bin saying that. Number one, just hearing her say that, I think everyone is just going to end up saying,
madness. Oh, shut up, you tart.
Yeah, exactly. This is the woman, keep in mind, this is the woman who admitted that she never even knew of the Odyssey. Remember that? Remember this? This was her interview with Elle magazine, where she said down here, she admits that she went in quite blind during their meeting, this is her talking to Christopher Nolan. He gave her the script and she read it in one sitting. She was immediately all in, where she says this. I mean, I was saying yes even before he told me what the role was. Once signed on, she was excited to dive into the world of Homer. She had performed a few monologues from Greek mythology in drama school at Yale, but was unfamiliar with the source material. Yep. Here you go. Lupita Nyong'o never even knew what the Odyssey was prior to being cast as Helen of Troy. Mind you, she attended a New England private liberal arts college for her bachelor's and got her MFA from Yale. There are 8-year-old children at classical schools who read an adaptation of the Odyssey and can speak it in themes. And she never even heard of it. And yet she's going to sit there in interviews and criticize Homer's work. This is insane. This is the level of stupidity and just outright, ego that is pumping through these people. And she's saying this shit because she can get away with it. At least she thinks she can get away with it. See, this is the problem with this new generation of actors and singers and stuff. They live in a world of no consequences because of their identity. And what I mean by that, I'll put it this way. I only watched the other day a body cam footage video. I've gone down a big rabbit hole with the body cam footage. And it's in an airport. I can't remember where the airport is. I think it was Georgia or something. And the store sells like sunglasses and stuff. And the report comes in that 2 women, black women, because they're on camera, clear as day, stealing the Meta sunglasses. The camera lens things. And you can see the woman, clear as day, pick them up, stick them in her pocket, and immediately walk out the door. The cops find her, they bring her back to the store, and because she's now been caught, by the way, all she wanted to do was try and go to the bathroom. They're like, oh, you can go to the bathroom in our area where there'll be no one else, because they knew exactly what she was going to do. They bring her to that bathroom. She goes in, she comes out. They bring her up to the store. She's arguing this entire time. She did not take anything. She wasn't even in that store. And as soon as the camera footage was starting to get pulled up, she turned around immediately and said, this is discrimination just because I'm a black woman. You're now trying to use, and this is what we're seeing all the time now, they're trying to use their race to get away with things, to get away from consequences. Your identity, your sexuality. Oh, I'm trans. You can't do or say anything bad about me. I'm trans. It's like, why would that make a difference if you've broken the law or anything like this? And by the way, the woman did take the glasses. They found them hidden in the bathroom. That's why she wanted to go to the public bathroom, but that's why they brought her into the other thing. As soon as those glasses are put onto the thing, she's breaking down going, in my state, you just write me a ticket. And they're like, not in this state. So, they think there's no consequences. Lupita Nyong'o can sit there now and say all of this crap and think there's no consequences. There's no consequences from Hollywood, because Hollywood are going to keep giving her roles. The consequences are in the box office numbers. What happens there? You can already see between her and Elliot Page, you can see the ratio to these trailers. Let's see if it's gone up again, shall we? Because this is where the consequences are. No, it hasn't gone up again this time. But the consequences are that you're getting your movie ratioed and you could cause this movie to flop. So it's going to be very interesting to actually see now what happens with this, because nobody's taken the word of critics, let's put it that way. And when the people that are giving you your first reactions aren't just critics, they're like these influencers, even though they're trying to say influencers didn't see it. If influencers weren't brought, how exactly was the first question that we saw in this to Lupita put through from a YouTube channel. DC Fangirls. I don't know. But, there you go, people. Lupita Nyong'o is out there saying the dumbest crap possible while never even knowing what the Odyssey was. I guess she is Helen of motherfucking Troy. Let me know what you think, and do you think this will hurt this movie? Have you lost interest in the movie? Does this not affect your interest in the movie? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff, and check out the memberships if you're interested. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.